Thank you. Who's next?
Good night, Prime Minister. Good night, Ministers. My name is Gina Babb, and I reside. Good night. Any better? My name is Gina Babb. My name is Gina Babb. I reside in Mount Stafford. My first concern is Storehouse Road. This is from the Garden Seventh-day Adventist Church, leading all the way past Patan Gardens, Yearwood Road. That road is in urgent need of repairs. And not just patching, repaving. Also, when you get to the top of Storehouse Road, there is a mirror, or supposed to be a mirror, ahead of you, but the mirror is missing. Also, at that junction, there is some bush on your right, so you can experience some difficulty getting out of that gap when vehicles are coming from Porters.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Also, a no parking sign was erected on that road, but persons are ignoring that no parking sign. Not wanting to take away
So you need cameras to be able to monitor and to be able to issue tickets. Yeah.
Not wanting to take away from anyone's livelihood, but most of those persons who park there are not going to the Garden Church. There are some instances when you are turning from the main road to go to Storehouse Gap, but because half of the road is blocked, you can experience a case where your trunk is in the main road and oncoming traffic. It's not
I think
safe.
what we're going to have to do, and we're starting it probably even just opposite here when we build the Civic Center and the car park. But it is clear that there are going to have to be a number of parking facilities. We've spoken about it already. If my memory serves me correctly, a lot of the people parking there going to the beach, right? As I tell you, I know the issues. So that because there are so few opportunities for parking, and I'm going to have to ask Mr. Headley and Town Planning to work with the Ministry of Housing to be able to identify lots where we can do an RFP and make it available to a private investor to be able to put car parks, because what is happening is a clash between the rights of residents and the rights of others to enjoy the economy of the coast, and the economy of the coast is also what helps pay people and supply jobs. So that the answer, in my view, yes, we can look and try and enforce the no parking sign, and we must do that and have that in terms of parking tickets issued to people. But in the interim, the people really need a solution. Because you can't be saying tourism is our business and we don't have the infrastructure to facilitate it. And equally, you can't be saying to Bajans that only tourists can go on the beach, or that you can only come to the beach if you catch a bus or you walk. So therefore, we're going to have, and we've discussed this, all of Highway 1 and all of Highway 7 are going to need to have, Mr. Headley, have we discussed this? Periodic car parks every couple of miles, mile and a half, 2 miles, whatever. And what then supplements that is ultimately shuttle buses. So you need a West Coast shuttle, a South Coast shuttle, and a round the town, Bridgetown shuttle. And that way people will go in the car parks. We're looking possibly, we're going to need one also in that Waterford area, because you have the Botanical Gardens, you'll have the stadium, you have Terrell Court, so that wherever we can put, and then those can be used for park and ride as well. Okay? But the reality is that we have a country. When I came to public life, Barbados had about 85,000 cars. I'm told that it is now over 130,000, Santia, that are registered, which means that we also have to make decisions because of the explosion in the number of cars on the same kilometers, of roads that we have. Okay? The island hasn't really gotten that much bigger. But we hear you on both public accesses as well as car parks. Okay?
Also, along Storehouse Road, there is a no dumping sign. Persons are also ignoring the no dumping sign.
There, people are dumping.
Right on the main road by the church, they're dumping right there, and there's a no
Okay,
park. There's a no
so
dumping
Minister
sign.
Ford, when you go to see Miss Denny, could you please go to Storehouse Road and look and see about the dumping, please, and let the SSA deal with it, and see whether there's a skip, because more often than not, people don't just dump on a front road unless there is a lack of somewhere to put. And therefore, what may be needed is a skip there or some kind of built thing where people can legitimately put stuff that is more than what they have outside of their house. Okay?
I also wanted to speak about Seaview, but someone touched on that already. Also, I also wanted to speak about Seaview. I was really hoping that when Houghton was paved, that somehow they would have done Seaview as well, but nothing had been done with Seaview. Next, Westmoreland. When you're going up Westmoreland, along the edges of the road are eaten away. If you don't be careful, you might try to avoid an incoming car, and then you hit a ditch on your left. That's if you're going up the hill or down the hill. Either way.
So what's the issue?
The edges of the road are eaten away.
The edges are eaten away.
Yeah.
So it's like Orange Hill.
Yeah.
Right. So both Westmoreland and Orange Hill, you know what that's a sign of? MTW? Mrs. Canterbury, what's that a sign of? Let's talk to the country for me, please. Because it's only going to get worse and worse unless there is a change of course. And it is happening in too many roads across the country. Come for mine. Thank you, sir.
Good evening, Prime Minister. Good evening, members of the Cabinet, ladies and gentlemen. What I believe we need in these two roads, as well as many others, we need to harden the edges, right? That will make concrete work. It's quite expensive. What's happening over the years is that we've been widening the roads and not hardening the edges or putting sidewalks. MTW at this point in time needs to go forward instead of simply just widening the road so that cars go. What we're looking at is